What's going on, guys? This is Kaisha. Welcome back. So we're back to another video. So in this video, we're going to cover OCG, Metagame Report, and decklist reviews. For the past week, we do have November 3 to November 8. So a week-long span of tournament data gathering. And we're going to cover post-Suda and also topping tournaments in Southeast Asian regions, the minor regions in the OCG. So we're going to cover tournaments from Indonesia, Philippines, Thailand, Malaysia, Singapore, Vietnam. And we're going to unravel how the Suda have impacted the format, and we're going to see a various plethora of deck lists that are unique and really obscure right now. So without further ado, let's start. So starting off first, you do have Yu-Gi-Oh! Davao Mindanao Gaming. You do have Alfred Zamora. It seems like February is pretty early this month now. Look how sweet the couple is on this picture with wedding ceremony card something. Yeah, it's really sweet. But looking on his deck list, it is on the flip side of being sweet because it is really scary to look at. No matter what happens, Alfred always plays the Scarecrow, and he definitely knows what he's doing on this deck. And looking on this list, it's more standard than his usual Scarecrow cooking. Most often than not, he's mixing the Scarecrow with a bunch of archetypes and also viable engines, but now it is more standard. And yeah, looking on the deck list, it's very functional. And it also played Kurifoton, no? A way to tech in against Tenpai Dragon. And moving on next, we do have Jan Baldwin, Shagol, Supreme King Melodious. So it is still relevant, no? Even though the Supreme King was guttered by the Follows and the plethora of Mulchicharmy cards, I think it is still viable and very explosive and can still dominate a lot of games when going first. Moving on next, we do have the tier list that I have made, but we have another video for it, so check out the video that I have recorded for this tier list on our channel. And next would be Oasis Yu-Gi-Oh! Sirobon in Indonesia. First would be Ryzil, no? It played Small World instead of the Tachyon, 7 Tachyon. It paved way for budget options like Small World because 7 Tachyon is ridiculously expensive right now, and not many people will be able to afford that very ridiculous card, especially there's no big events that much aside from that 3v3 tournament in Asia. So people wouldn't up to buy those expensive cards right now. And also holiday season is approaching, so most people are saving up money for that. Next would be Voices Voice from Ombob. So it played Summon Limit into the main deck, one of the most favorite cards that I always tech in Voices Voice. Once you set up the Guardian and low with Barrier and Summon Limit, it's pretty much game over for most of the decks because you're confident on playing around Summon Limit yourself, and Summon Limit dictates the whole game state of your opponent, no? So it's really obnoxious. Next would be Blue Eyes Adventure, no? Quite interesting. It also played one Regeki and one Talent in the main deck. Very odd. Yeah, very odd inclusions here. But it worked for Deo. And next would be Taufik, Malice. So first Malice in our report, it is playing the new level 1 Dark support for Cybers. I'm not sure if it is direct support for Malice, but probably it is notable to see Malice tapping decklist with this tech card. And it is interesting whether it would continue or it's just the flavor of the month for Malice right now. And moving on next, we do have Duel Bacolod. Shoutouts to our friends in Bacolod, to our Visayas friends out there. Shoutouts to you. We do have Finsmith Azumina Hero. So Hero is one of the most potent decks recently because it got new support from Suda, and people are now trying to fix the Hero, and they are using different engines like this Primite, no, and Finsmith and Azamina. So the Hero right now is much more splashable, and it lets you be more creative and innovative on playing heroes. And next would be Ancient Gear. Wow. So this is like Tenpai 2.0. It is like one of the best going second decks out there. And it functions the same as Tenpai Dragon. It just aims to break the boards of your opponent and just OTK for in game. And next would be Exosister. Wow, very underrated right now. I cannot stress enough how important the graveyard is in this current format. Aside from the two best decks, Malice and Ryzil, most of the tier decks from tier 2 to below to tier 4, most decks there like Dragon Link Buster Blader, Branded, and a bunch of graveyard decks like Snake Eyes are going to be rattled with graveyard hate. Something like Exorcister that can execute perfectly any time of the day with their graveyard hate mechanics. And next would be Ryzil, top 4 of the tournament. Also played Small World. Like the profile from earlier, they're playing Small World because it's much more cheaper and more affordable. And next would be Duels Dewata tournament in Indonesia. Champion would be Galaxy Ryzil. It is cosplaying Gaara on the Naruto Shippuden, and I believe this deck is pretty much linear and standard. I believe this is what Ryzel looks like, aside from the two of the fire. Toad and also play Droplet in the side deck. On the first 3 weeks of Ryzel, Droplet is rampant on everyone's. I mean, deck and even side deck of Ryzel, but it is losing traction recently due to more popular hand traps like Ghost Ogre are more favored over the Droplet, and also Droplet can be costly, so people would want to avoid discarding cards or casting cards for the board breaker of Droplet. Next would be Evil Twin Finsmith. So it's like tactical try with Finsmith, triple Regeki, double Lightning Storm, and double Heavy Storm. So this could be OTK type of deck, no? Considering that it is playing board breakers in the main deck and not much hand traps, to be honest. Next would be Labyrinth from Madara Uchiha Akbar. It is playing one rollback. I believe one rollback is the perfect ratio right now. I don't think 2 or 3 is a good number for Labyrinth right now. I just prefer to see more powerful trap cards and more interactive and more adamant hand traps on the deck, no? Considering that the format is getting faster, so Labyrinth would want to be more uh, faster as well. Next would be Salamangreat from Sai, Paint Tool Sai. So Salamangreat, very affordable right now. People just need to buy the structure deck of AE version of Salamangreat, and they're pretty much good to go. I just need to buy the Promethean and slap in hand traps for that, and you already have a very competent Salamangreat, modern Salamangreat deck. Next would be KGS Card Shop Tournament. First would be Whitewoods Toy Box. I'm not really sure if it is playing the new support. I believe it is playing or not. Yeah, it is playing a bunch of Omni-Negate threats like Apollousa and Barone, and also played Skill Drain, no, in the main deck. So you could play around that technically with the toy box. Yeah, pretty much. And bunch of weird one-offs like one Druisworm and one Baldric and also one Ibiru. And moving on, we have Evo Community Tournament. Oh, we still have, yeah, the first place would be Matmech at Ignister. So still viable even though it is less favored. Unlike the past 2 years, it's still okay to play the Matmech Ignister. Next would be, wow, hold on a minute. What the frick is this? Ryzil Labyrinth. So you tend to aim, just make the nadir and just sit on that with your Labyrinth popping effects and simultaneous effects of your furniture cards and also the lady. So yeah, I believe this is feasible. Yeah, it's the first time that I have saw this type of build, but it is workable, I guess. Yeah. Next would be Kaiju Luna Horus. Wow. And it is also playing the new Mulcharmy card, the cat one, and it is okay, but I don't really prefer it over Follows like this. Yeah, very debatable and very uh situational depending on the environment. And next would be Live Twin once again, another Live Twin. So this time it is playing less board breakers, even though it is playing Duster and Cosmic Cyclone in the main deck. It is notable that he focused on Live Twin cards and Sprite on this build without the Finsmith. And moving on next, we do have Kedri Yu-Gi-Oh! Tournament in Indonesia. We do have Matnet. Matmec Ryzil with Alzena. So it is playing Sharks as well and 2 Sakitama. Wow. So he just focused on rank 4 and extenders. He just really wanted to play. Yeah, he just wants to navigate all of the hand traps right now and still make 2 something on his turn. And next would be Caesar, second place. Snake Eyes, White Woods, Azamina. So this is really phenomenal. This could be a deck that could prevail and be the second best deck over Malice. If people will uh, try to be more fixated on this deck, I believe the potential is out of hand. It could be the resurrection of Snake Eyes, and it is worrying to see Snake Eyes still dominating in early 2025. No, imagine that. But yeah, it is what it is with White Woods, White Forest. It is making Snake Eyes more threatening once again. And next would be Dragon Link from Islam. 50 card, yeah, 50 card Dragon Link with Metal Morph Engine. Next would be Gimmick Puppet, of course, FTK everywhere. Just need to do your uh usual combo and just FTK your opponent. But it's playing Lava Golem, no? In the main deck. No Skill mode, just Lava Golem only. And also played Lancea for the Malice matchup. And next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Manado Community. First would be Ryzil, displaying Sight in the side deck. And only Sight, no? So you just pop it with the Nader, probably. Because you're not even playing the Sanctum anymore. So you just pop the Sight. Once your opponents play through your Nader, you just pop anything on your board, and it so happens that Sight is a trigger effect from that pop and it locks your opponent. And next would be Henry, branded. 40 card, I believe, or 50? Oh, 60, yeah. 60 branded. The more usual branded with Droplet and Trust. Next would be Renner, Ryzil. So this time it is playing Sanctum. And Santa Claus, oh my goodness. Santa Claus, interesting take. Yeah, this could be really interesting. Santa Claus in late 2024. And next would be Claudius, Ancient Gear. What the freak? What the freak? So, Ancient Gear, yeah. It is playing a bunch of fusions on it. And also played Spooky Dogwood. Yeah, could be really interesting to gain LP. And next would be Andrea Six Samurai, of course. I believe Six Samurai is getting the consistency that they want to achieve. The past 3-4 weeks, we always have one Six Samurai at least on our report. And moving on, we do have ITS Foreign Language Society tournament. We do have Steven as the champion with Malice. And no Shifter, no? Oh, Shifter is only on the side deck. So, yeah, you don't really want to play Shifter that much because Ryzil and Malice can play around effectively. And next would be Fize. Raid Raptor, wow. Raid Raptor with Simord engine with Crawler Scroll on it. And next would be Salam. Melodious. So Melodious was dubbed to be a tier for meta deck on the previous uh, tier list from Magetaka. And I wonder why I don't really get it, to be honest. Maybe Melodious are just being more flexible than other mid-range decks because you have a lot of rooms on the main deck like this, no? You have rooms for Droll, even Bell and Nibiru are included here. So, yeah. And next would be Bagas. Another Atignister Matmech. Wow. It is interesting to see two Matmech Gnister in our report. And next would be Rogue's Passage Tournament. Shoutouts to our friends in Rogue's Passage, Pampanga. First would be Avril with Blue Eyes White Dragon. Triple Piris Race map in the main deck. What a way to boost the consistency of an already consistent Blue Eyes. I believe it could take the Blue Eyes into newer heights because you are improving the already consistent combo lines of Blue Eyes. And next would be Marion, Abuhen, another Blue Eyes This time, no Pyrrhic Race map, but opt to play double talent in the main deck. We double draw and also play the Chaos Max on it. And of course, the Magia on the extra deck. Next would be Time Walk tournament in Indonesia. First would be Ritual Beast. So also played Nemesis package and Protoss with the Thunder Dragon Colossus. So imagine that Protoss Colossus and you have Reyra Tori and everything on your board. It's pretty much GG all over the place for your opponent. And next would be Ryzel once again. Triple talent, triple small world, okay. Not too shabby. Yeah. Also play double ogre on it. And no droplet. Like I've said earlier, droplet is losing traction on Ryzel. And next would be Snake Eyes. Cyber's good stuff with Exceed and I forgot the name. Skipper something. Formute Skipper, I believe. Yeah, interesting. Double original as well. With Azamina. And of course, Aobao. Oh my goodness. Aobao is just immense. He just single-handedly brought the Finsmith engine back to life. With Aobao, it resuscitated decks like Unchained, Chimera, Snake Eyes, all over those metagame with Finsmith engine. Aobao is definitely phenomenal. And next would be Labyrinth with Ryzel. Yeah, once again. I believe this is the same pilot as earlier. This is just beyond madness, and I believe there's only one person that could pull this off, like the pilot from earlier. And next would be Yu-Gi-Oh! Metagame Malang weekly tournament. We do have champion Yubel Unchained. Wow, first Yubel in our report, no? Yubel definitely fell off. Huge fell off from the Yubel, but you would take anything from it, no? Because Yubel is just severely gutted by the ban list. One engraver, ban Beatrice, and thrones will be at 2, no? So yeah, it was really devastating for Yubel. Next would be runner-up, Tenpai Dragon. Our first Tenpai Dragon in our report? What the freak? It is something new to me because I am so accommodated with so many Tenpai Dragons in Southeast Asian regions. So people are now shifting away from Tenpai Dragon. Exciting development. Yeah, really interesting. Interesting development. And next would be third place. Speedroid. Oh my goodness. Speedroid with their new support. Wow. This is crazy. And fourth place would be Ryzel, of course, standard. And next would be Dueling Nexus tournament in Malaysia, I believe. You have Chan, Manadium. Oh my goodness, Manadium in 2024. It also played a bunch of hand traps, no? Two Whaler, two Droll. And next would be Goblin Bikers, of course. Very strong deck to answer the Ryzel. And even played Jogen. Oh my goodness. It is an FTK Goblin Biker, I believe, with Jogen Luck and Horus. What the freak? From GG How. And next would be Ryzel once again. Pretty standard, only one desires. Next would be Harry. Voices voice Tachyon. So Tachyon offers your boost going second and probably more bodies on the field. Like you could make Galaxy Photon and something like Photon Lord, no? Early on. And moving on next. We do have Paducah weekly tournament. First would be Horustan, of course, with Mistake, Forcing Stone, and your usual everyday floodgates. And next would be Tenpai Dragon Horus. What the freak? What insanity is this? So it still aims to go second, but now you are supported with Horus, and you're just going to beat down everyone on this build. And triple Dora Draco. Oh my goodness. Insanity. Next would be Rescue Ace. First Rescue Ace. Another deck that was falling off recently would be Rescue Ace. And yeah, moving on. We do have the Kaido Willis Tabletop Community Tag Team Tournament. And the champion would be my friends Joshua Coriano and Renz Ponko, with Renz using the Mementotlan. A really favored deck right now. Probably the third best deck on my book. Probably, yeah. I think this could be third or fourth, tied with the Snake Eyes White Woods Azumina. But looking on his list, it is pretty standard. Just played the correct staples to play to answer the meta game right now. And our friend, of course, from Team Gumburza as well, Joshua Coriano. It played Sharks on the Rizil, and there's nothing too specific about this. It just played the new Mulcharmy card. Yeah. And no Purulia. Yeah, no Purulia. Just played the new Mulcharmy card. And yeah, that sums up our OCG metagame report from November 3 to 8. So if you found this video informative and helpful, please consider subscribing into my YouTube channel. It definitely motivates me a lot to keep providing this content for you guys. So thank you for watching. See you on the next one. Peace.